Hey, how's it going? I'm going to throw this one up here, another video here. Um, so the banks have actually gotten bigger since the Great Crash. They've actually went from too big to fail to unbelievably big to fail. So I don't know how do you if they're too big to fail. They're even more big to fail. I guess you can say. Um, they've their capital and expenditures they're unbelievably huge. I mean, even if one of these banks um, does something screwy and collapses, it could destroy the U.S. economy and probably the world economy. Um, and For a while now, I've been saying join a credit union. Let's get away from these banks and just join a credit union. And you know, people have been doing it. Large number of the population has done that. They have joined a credit union. Um, well, it's a problem I should have foresaw, but I honestly, I just didn't. I didn't see it. Um, the big banks are now getting worried. The rise of credit unions is cutting into their customer base, and they're not happy about that. So the big banks are using all the money they made from the big bailouts they got in an effort to destroy the credit unions. They're trying to basically turn the credit unions into banks. It's effectively what they're trying to do. So, a credit union is a non for profit organization. So it doesn't make profits. It makes profits kind of. That money is brought back into the credit union and is distributed to the members, and everybody who's a member of the credit union is a member of the credit union. I mean, there's no owner. You're just a member of the union. Um, and so that the profits that are made off of interest, for example, if you have a credit card through the credit union, um, profits off of mortgages, profits off of whatever loans that are distributed via the credit union, all that is funneled back into the credit union, which allows the credit union to offer lower rates. Lower rates on credit card interest, lower rates on mortgage interest, lower rates on, well, anything. It also allows them to offer better services. For example, say you have overdraft protection through a credit union, or at least my credit union offers this. Uh, if your credit is decent enough, you can qualify for this overdraft protection, and depending on your credit level, it depends on how much of overdraft protection you can get. But what this overdraft protection does is say you don't have enough to pay rent for a particular month. Well, the credit union will forward you that money, so you can write your rent check and know that the credit union will spot you for the amount that you're lacking, and yeah, you're going to pay interest on that, but that's all you're going to pay. So it goes into a loan basically to the credit union, and there's no fees, there's no charges, there's no nothing like that. You owe the credit union, X amount of dollars, say $200 or $300 or whatever, depending on how much you were off of your rent, and you're able to you pay that down, through a monthly payment, or if you have enough money the next week or whatever, you just pay it off. But all you're paying on that is interest, which is not bad. I mean, it's not a bad deal at all. You're not getting a $35 fee, $50 fee for each charge. It's just credit union loans you the money. Hey, you need to pay us back. That's how it works. Uh, so, I mean, aside from this being an awesome deal for the consumer, I mean, because if you have an overdraft protection with a bank, the bank's going to charge you a fee for the overdraft. They're going to charge you interest on top of that, plus the interest on top of the fee. Um, And they generally do it from a credit card because you'll have to have a credit card from them. So it's not like a separate line of credit. It's a credit card which has its own fees. So you just get slammed by banks. Well, with credit union, you get a better deal, and they're able to give you that better deal because they're not for profit. Um, and because they're non for profit, they have a tax exempt status. Well, yeah, the credit unions are increasing in size. More and more people are joining them. Um, Banks are getting pissed off. So banks are now lobbying the government, basically in an effort to destroy credit unions. What they want to do is they want credit union. Okay, so they want to give credit unions the right to invest their capital in stock options, to offer stock options, to acquire capital, which effectively would make them a bank. And they also want to eliminate credit unions' tax exempt status, which, of course, if they are allowed to operate like a bank, they would lose their tax exempt status because they'd be banks. Um, so, yeah, the big banks are trying to destroy credit unions. Um, so, I'm going to be leaving a couple links down below. I still think people should join credit unions. I'm hoping that over the course of the past few years, they've acquired enough capital to fight the banks, or at least try to stop the banks. I don't know. I honestly don't think credit unions have acquired sufficient capital to truly fight the banks. Um, Other than the fact that they're a better deal, a better option for the consumer, and they're better for society. I mean, they're just better in general. I mean, read the articles. I mean, one article's talking about how the banks have increased in size to the point where they're even a greater threat to the economy and a greater threat to the world than before the crash, mind you, before the crash. And the other article is basically a Los Angeles Times article talking about how the banks are trying to destroy the credit union movement and they're trying to destroy credit unions here in the U.S. I hope they won't. I hope they fail. Of course, people need to be aware that they're trying to do it, and hey, that's where I'm going here. Um, so I'm going to throw those links down below. It's only two of them this time, so keep the reading low, I guess. Um, yeah, if you're not an American and you're talking to an American online, just tell them to join a credit union. Randomly, just tell them that. Just tell them to join a credit union. Uh, if we get enough Americans to join the credit unions, these banks won't have the power to jack us up anymore. But I don't know. And hey, you know what? And if you're talking to a right wing fanatic, he's all free market capitalism, go 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 capitalism. You know what? Just give him the credit union line. Hey, first off, as an individual, you're going to be better off at a credit union. You're going to get a better rate. You're going to get a better deal, and it's just generally better for your community. Um, it's the free market, right? It's a better deal than a bank. So why are you at a bank? Go to a credit union. Anyhow, I'll leave the two links below. Yeah, I don't know. Like that actually kind of frightens me when the banks have basically are starting to target credit unions and they want them gone. And the banks have the capital to make that happen. I'm only hoping that my only hope is that credit unions have acquired enough capital to defend themselves. Because most people view credit unions just like they view banks. So I'm sure they'll be able to use some, Fox News will come out with some sort of wacky political article or political story saying, "Oh, why are credit unions tax exempt when banks have to pay taxes?" Oh, one can only hope. Anyhow, I'll leave the two links below. Let's roll.